defense is playing good, so we just run.
Welcome back to Lakewood's First and 10. This is PonyFans Live. Before we get to the last segment, wanted to make sure everybody knows that the world premiere of the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary will be December 2nd at Lakewood Theater. Check out ponyfans.com for time and other details. We are hoping to have a sneak preview here tonight at Lakewood's First and 10, so stick around after the show for that. Also, the other big event this weekend at SMU Athletics, Sunday night at 7 o'clock, the 5th seeded men's soccer team is hosting William & Mary in the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament. Be sure to come out to Westcott Field for that. But having said that, our focus tonight is the football team's game Friday against East Carolina. And Friday is going to be the 3rd chance that you guys have had this year to really solidify your grip on the lead of Conference USA West. And in this case, you have a chance to win the division, go to the conference championship game. How much do you guys talk about that, specifically the division standings and what that could lead to, as opposed to just the X's and O's of what you have to do to win Friday's game?
We talk about it, quite often. I mean, any spare chance we get, we kind of remind each other of what we can do. And, we want to play another 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We don't want to just go to a bowl game. We want to go to the conference championship. That's been our goal this entire year. We let everybody know that from the beginning, from camp. So that's something that we preach on. But the biggest thing is, we got to focus on winning and not focus too much on the conference championship game. We got to focus on the game that's on Friday.
What about the coaches and their approach? How much are they talking about bowl games, conference championships, or are they trying to take that one game at a time approach that you hear coaches say all the time, telling you to worry only about East Carolina? How's the coach's message different compared to, the way you guys might be talking about it among yourselves?
Well, we usually try to take it one game at a time, but Coach Jones likes to put goals before us. Like, and we set goals that gives us something to strive for. So, there's always some little talk about winning the next game, and then we got a better chance to go to the conference championship and everything. So, we still talk about it a little bit, but we try to focus one game at a time.
Sterling, you have not you personally, but the defense will have your hands full. East Carolina has a very powerful offense. Their quarterback, Dominique Davis, is the only quarterback in the conference with more yards and touchdowns than Kyle Padron. And they have a receiver, Dwayne Harris, who your defensive coordinator, Tom Mason, said is as good as any you'll see all year. What do you try to do to keep him from running wild and putting up big numbers on Friday?
Tackle in the open field. They like to get him the ball in the open field and quick. And so we're going to have to rally up and make tackles in the open field. If he busts tackles, it can be a long day.
Is he more of a speed guy? Is he going to be a starting and stopping shifty guy like Cole? What does Harris do that makes him such an effective threat? He's the only guy in the conference with more catches than your roommate. He's got a lot of touchdowns. He's got more yards than everybody except Aldrick Robinson in the conference. What makes him so effective?
He's an all-around receiver. He's fast, he's shifty, but the biggest thing is he's physical. He's about 205, 210, and he runs downhill. He's a very powerful guy, and he's not afraid to run over you.
And then give us a thumbnail sketch of their quarterback too, because their last 2 quarterbacks, both named Pinckney, so it seems like they've had the same guy for about 10 years. But Davis has been in there. He's already got this ECU records for attempts, completions, yards, touchdowns. What kind of quarterback is he for the Pony fans who've never seen him play?
He's shifty. He keeps a lot of plays alive with his feet, but he's an accurate passer. He's got a strong arm, and he puts the ball on the money. And so we're going to have to be all over the receivers to make sure that they don't catch the ball, and then if they do catch the ball, we're going to have to make tackles.
On the other side of the ball, you guys are facing a defense that lost 3 of its starting defensive linemen to the NFL after last year. Then they lost 3 of their new starting defensive linemen for the year to injuries. They are giving up almost 44 points a game this year. including 57.5 points a game over the last month. When you look at that, the description I've heard people use is it's like video game numbers. When you look at a team giving up 57.5 points a game, do you sit there and lick your chops? How do you approach a defense like that? Nobody gives up numbers like that.
I mean, every game we look at the teams and always expect to put a lot of points on the board. I mean, we got the kind of guys that in the receiver room that always want to put up 40 or 50. So, I mean, kind of makes us look forward to this game a little bit more because, I mean, we know they've had their struggles, but basically everything is about what we do more than what they do, and we just got to focus at what we do on offense.
So 2 of the offenses that have put up huge numbers, Navy put up 73 points on them. A couple weeks later, Rice, which has not been running the option, they install the option because they have so many guys hurt. They come in and put up 62 points on them. Are we going to see Coach Jones abandoning the run and shoot and putting in an option offense the day after tomorrow?
Highly doubt it. Coach Jones is a guy that likes to stick by what he does, so I'm sure you'll still see us flinging the ball around like no other come Friday. But, I mean, Zach Lyon's definitely going to get his carries as productive as he's been. But I still think we're going to fire the ball around and let Kyle just get it to us.
In talking to some of your coaches this week after practice, they basically dismissed these numbers and said, yeah, they've given up yards, they've given up points, but they said there are very good athletes on that defense. They have guys capable of making plays. When you study their film, what do you see as a strength in this defense?
They got a lot of speed, and they got their size is way bigger than us, so that's definitely a positive for them. I mean, it's going to be, our line's going to have to use their strength and try to bowl them over. They're really big up front, and they got really good athletes in the back end, so I think their struggles this year due mostly to them being young. I think they only have 1 or 2 returning starters on defense, and they graduated so many people. So I think that's the main thing, but they still have people out there that can make plays for them.
All right, both of these offenses can score, and I don't want to ask you this question because you'll get mad, but is this going to be one of those deals where it could be the last? I know you're going to say you're going to pitch a shutout on Friday, but
I have faith in our defense. I think they can hold them. I mean, Ja'Garrett Davis told me today we'll win if we score 35 at least. So, I mean, that's giving them a little much, but I think our defense can hold them to less than 35. So,
I was going to say, are you going to admit to giving up 35 on Friday?
We better not give up 35 points.
All right, so how do you approach it, though, knowing their offense is that explosive? Do you look at yards? We want to hold them under a certain number. Do you look at points, or is it simply a matter of, I don't care if we beat them 7-3 or 70-63? Do you worry about statistical numbers when you've got a chance to play a team like this that has struggled? They've lost 4 of their last 5. What is your approach going in against an offense that explosive?
I mean, of course, you look at the statistics and you kind of have a goal in mind of keeping them to a certain number. But when it comes down to it, a win is a win. And, last week, Coach Odom kind of summed it up. We get a reminder sheet before every game, and usually we have goals as a secondary. Goal number 1 is always win, and, from there it goes get interceptions, get turnovers, and simply put, last week it was 1 goal and it was win. And I'm sure that's the same message that he's going to preach this week.
A lot has been made in the media this week about how, at least 4 teams in the NFL are on a short week because they play on Thanksgiving Day. You guys are on a slightly shorter week. You're playing Friday instead of Saturday. You've got to travel on Thanksgiving Day. How does that affect your week of preparation and alter your schedule as you get ready for Friday's game?
I don't think it really affected us that much, besides just us being sore a little bit. But Coach Jones helped us out a little bit with that, with not going with shoulder pads and stuff. We just went helmets all week. But as for preparing for them, it's basically the same. We basically just started a day earlier because usually we wouldn't practice on Monday, but we did. So.
Last year there was some talk going around that after you beat East Carolina at Ford Stadium, some of their players were very vocal about the fact that they were none too thrilled to have come to Dallas and lost to SMU. Does that raise an extra level of concern for you guys, knowing that you're playing a team that basically has had you circled on their calendar and may come into this game with sort of an idea that they owe you one?
I don't think it concerns us, but at the same time you have to think about it that they are pissed off. And they're going to come with a little extra incentive to beat us. You know, last year they were walking up the tunnel saying, I can't believe we lost to you guys. You guys are nobodies. So, you know, that kind of sticks with us at the same time, too, just to remembering that they said that about us. So we're still going to have that in the back of our minds as well.
One of the benefits, obviously, last year of going to the Hawaii Bowl was you got an extra month almost of practice. And it was really the first time in 20 years that SMU had been able to prepare with an eye on a, quote, big game. Well, Friday is a very big game as well. How much did the preparation and the extra time and the hype leading up to the bowl game last year help you as you get ready to play Friday for a chance to go to the conference championship?
You know, it was a big game, and, you know, this game to us is even bigger. So we really want to come out here and prove that we're taking a step to the next level. I mean, being bowl eligible is taking that step, but at least getting to the conference championship and if not winning it is even bigger step for us. So that did put us on a national stage last year by going to the bowl game, but we want to be on an even bigger stage by going to the conference championship.
Defensively, keys to victory on Friday.
Give up less points than our offense scores.
Very scientific. Offensive?
Basically, the biggest thing really is to not turn the ball over and give their offense extra opportunities. We got to take care of the ball on offense, and then we just got to put points up on the board.
All right, we're going to see how this shakes out. Friday afternoon, 1 p.m. Central Time. If you're in Dallas, come to Lakewood's 1st and 10 to watch the game. Again, if SMU wins, going to the conference championship game the following week. Our guests again, Cole Beasley, Sterling Moore. Guys, thank you for being on the show. This is PonyFans Live.